People always ask, if God is so good, if God is so loving, and He cares so much about His creation, why does He let bad things happen to people? Why does He let bad things happen to women and children and humanity in general? Why doesn't God intervene to stop these heinous crimes from happening? We got to understand the highest principle that God gives mankind is love. Understand, you cannot have love without free will. Humans are not machines whereby we operate as programmed. We're not programmed. Something that is pre-programmed can comply, but it never has a free choice. See, we must go to Scripture and understand God's greatest command, recorded in Matthew 22, verse 37 through 39. And it says, "You shall love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your soul, and with all your mind. This is the first and greatest commandment. The second is like it. You shall love your neighbor as yourself." For God to violate our free will would be for Him to violate what is necessary to love. See, God doesn't intervene to prevent people from exercising their free will. That's how He created us. Now, because doing so, if He did intervene and violated our free will, by doing so would deprive us from making choices which make us human. See, people don't realize what they're asking by asking, why doesn't God prevent such atrocities? People don't get it. See, that's like asking God to deny our own human right. God, deny the way you created me. See, we choose love or we choose otherwise. And that's why this world is the way it is. Mankind, choosing to not love God, to not obey His word, thus choosing contrary to God's love, only brings evil because of rejection. Rejection to His authority, rejection to His creation. See, there's a story. In December 7th, 1988, in Armenia, there was an 8.2 earthquake, and it lasted for over 4 minutes. Now, this man had dropped off his son at school. Then he took off to work. But because the earthquake had demolished the roads, public transportation was no longer available. So he ran. He ran across town. And he found the building in which he dropped his son off. And when he got there, it was completely demolished. He began throwing stone after stone, brick after brick, looking for his first grade son. And a man had came by and said, "Sir, it's not worth it. Stop. They're all gone by now." But he said nothing, and he continued to throw off stones off the rubble. A fireman had come by and said, "Sir, you got to leave. You cannot be here. It's too dangerous." But the man ignored him. And he had nothing to eat, nothing to drink. 24 hours went by, and he continued throwing stone after stone because he wanted his son. And on the 38th hour, he called out for his son. And this small voice said, "Dad, is that you?" He ended up rescuing 12 fifth grade children. This was not a mechanical response. This was a genuine response of love because of a free choice he had to go. He could have found his son and said, that's enough. But no, 12 kids he pulled out because of love that he had in his heart. In a world filled with heinous crimes, in a world full of adults hurting each other, hurting mankind, this man in Armenia chose love. Understand this. Love is not an emotion. Love is an action.